I'm Chaitra Arula, your host for today. Yes, yes, thank you. Yes, I think that's a great idea. I will request my colleague from Wiki, Shweta, to please come over and introduce Wiki as an organization as we wait for Anjana, and then I will introduce our lovely panelists to you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for making the time. Can you all hear me? Yes. All right. So, on behalf of Wiki and HGCDH Luxembourg, a very warm welcome to all of you for our higher education event. We're really happy to see all of you, and we expect a few more people to join. We're just keeping track of time. We've started. So, higher education is a catalyst, right? Whether it is for boosting your career, if you're already into one, and if it is for bridging a career gap if you've taken one, right? And what we aim to do today as a part of today's panel discussions to really have some of our talented women who've gone through that journey to share some of their anecdotes with all of you, to really learn about how to get integrated into Luxembourg and just wade through the ocean of opportunities in terms of higher education that might come your way. It's always easier to relate when you have people who've gone through that journey talk you through their personal stories and anecdotes. So we really hope you leave the room today with some learning, with some idea of what might help you or what might interest you. We've also put in QR codes in case if you'd like to connect with any of our panelists offline. So this should take you to their LinkedIn profiles, and hopefully you can speak with them offline as well. So just to give you a brief overview of the agenda, we have about an hour of panel discussion with all three of them, and then we open the room for Q&A. I'm sure you have a lot of questions on your mind, so we probably try to spend 15 minutes. And then there's an offline networking event, so in case if you'd like to stay back, talk to each other, make some new connections, and renew the ones that you already have, please make use of that time as well. And a very warm welcome to Marivan Mursel from HGCDH. Ma'am, thank you once again for letting us this platform for hosting this event. So with this, we'll open the panel discussion. I see Anjana's here, so take it away, Chaitra. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Chaitra. So we'll quickly get on with the introduction of the panel. I'm Chaitra Arula, and the reason I'm hosting today is because I've been through this journey. I will tell you maybe when we network, where I got, how far I got in this journey. To my very right, and I hope this is still my right, is Monica. Monica is a tech graduate with several years of experience with the software company TCS in India before she moved here to Luxembourg. And having come here, she realized that as a trailing spouse who's on a dependent visa, she is not allowed a work permit. So she was faced with two choices. She could either sulk or resent the situation, or think how this can be changed. And we will find out from Monica herself what she did about the situation. Right to the right of Monica, we have Anjana. Anjana chose to take a sabbatical from her work in academic life for the sake of family, especially if you're a trailing spouse to a traveling husband or a wife. You understand the situation. But several years later, she decided that she wants to do something more meatier with her time. And as a biomedical engineer, please correct me if I'm wrong, she found avenues to come back to what is her passion. And we will find out from Anjana how she did that. And of course, we have our very own Pratiksha representing the other side of the spectrum. Pratiksha is a passionate educator, and she arrived in Luxembourg also as a trailing spouse. She is a higher education specialist with over 10 years of experience in recruiting for education and marketing across several geographies. And currently, she is the student recruitment manager at HGCDH Luxembourg, of which I am a student currently. her mission of connecting the dots, she mentors people to identify their purpose and make appropriate career choices, which is exactly what she did with me. So through Pratiksha, we will understand the other side of the story, hopefully. So let's begin, ladies. Thank you. This is a common question to Anjana and Monica, and of course we'll start with Monica. Monica, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and at what point did you decide to pursue higher education?
So starting with the introduction, very apt, Chaitra. Thank you very much. Can you hear me? So I started my career as a software developer. As you all might know, software is the thing in India. And having born there, it was a career choice made on my behalf by my parents that I would be an engineer. And that's how I ended up getting the education. I got selected into join top firms, TCS, and I started working there. The job was really fulfilling at that time. And somewhere down the line, I got married, and then I realized that I'd have to move out of India to Luxembourg. For 1 year almost, I tried to keep my job, stay in India while my husband was working here in Luxembourg, and then it was about time to make a choice. That is when I decided to quit my job as a software developer and move to Luxembourg, take a risk to find a new job, find a new beginning. That's how I ended up here. At that time, there was lack of information, and we didn't know that it would be difficult to find a job, and working visa wouldn't be able to for me by default. So it was more of a catch-22 situation. So after you clear a job interview, for getting the job interview, you needed a visa, and for getting the visa, you needed a job contract. So it was not working for me at all. So I ended up not having even one qualified interview, and it was that time, Chaitra, that I decided that I need to break this endless loop, and maybe it's time to start from the beginning. That was when I was told that maybe I can use it as an opportunity to be whatever I would like to be, and that was a new concept to me. How can one dare to dream? How can one dare to choose for yourself? Yes, I always like the management aspect of the things, and I thought it could be very interesting if I can do that. So then I tried that. So I did my research, and I found this university, Sacred Heart University, based in the same building. It's not there anymore. That has been replaced by TCBA. So I registered for MBA with internship. I got an opportunity to start as an intern, which is the very beginning of the corporate ladder. But then I gained experience in marketing, into management. That was very fulfilling. And I started from there, and yeah, life happened after that.
Thank you for that. I head to Angela.
Thank you, Shaitra, for the nice brief overview about me. So yes, I did my bachelor's in India, but I think I worked for a year after my bachelor's. But immediately, life took a turn. I got married, and we decided to move to Amsterdam. But back then, we were not really sure if we will be staying there forever or we'll be moving back to India. So I couldn't decide what if I have to start a master's. It's something that I cannot proceed with 2 years of timeline. So I didn't really plan anything at that point in time. So then life just went on, and we started a family, and then in 2016 we moved back to India, but it was for a very brief period of time. So I was there for 6 months, and I knew that I'll be coming back to Luxembourg, but not to Netherlands. Then I did my own background research because I always wanted to do masters. So yeah, I knew that University of Luxembourg offers quite interesting courses there, but then I was like, okay, let me try doing some certification. So I did certification in testing because I was not from IT background. So I knew that the only option of getting into job with only English as the official language is into IT. And so yeah, I did a course in testing. But when I moved to Luxembourg, the scenario was completely different because In Netherlands, it's if you just have a resident card, you can start working. You don't need any authorization from the ministry or any approval to start working. So that was something new when I moved to Luxembourg. So I knew without any prior work experience, getting into job market is very tough. And yeah, I started exploring the options to try masters. And due to various reasons, I didn't manage to enroll in 2017, but I was sure that I will keep everything ready for 2018. And yes, so I started my masters in integrated systems biology, and I completed this in 2020, and I started working with University of Luxembourg thereafter.
Thank you so much for that, Anton. We go to Pratiksha now, and we will look at this from the other side of the lens. To you, Pratiksha. When recruiters are looking at potential talent, what are they looking for? What specific sectors should one look at joining when we move to Luxembourg?
Well, thank you, Chaitra, for the question and, of course, a wonderful introduction and this opportunity of being a part of the panel. The sectors, I would say, definitely when you come to Luxembourg, we have lots of opportunities. Let's look at the positive side of the spectrum. Definitely Luxembourg is known for finance sector, but in addition, I would say we do have a lot of legal and consulting, IT space that's picking up a lot of visibility. But in addition to that, Luxembourg is also highlighting industries overall, sustainability and circular economy. So yes, I would say it's no more just finance concentration, but no industry can thrive individually, but it moves with all the verticals together. And I'm sorry, what was the next part of the question?
When you answered most of it, which specific sectors should one target?
Yes.
So, thank you for that. We will now come to Monica and Anjana again. So when you decided that, okay, I need to pursue higher education in order to get back into the workforce, how did you research the options you had in front of you? What was your approach? Were there, what sources of information did you tap into? Did you know right off the bat that this is what I want to do? Or did you have to study 2, 3, 4 options before you decided what you wanted to do? I'll go to Monica first.
Thank you, Chaitra. That's a good question. So for me, there were several options, and it was more of an open, like explore yourself kind of task here. So I think what was super helpful was to have a mentor, somebody who has already been here since a long time and has navigated around job markets, and they know how it works, where to look for and where to find help. So that's super important. But apart from that, going to the job fairs and attending the interviews, attending all kind of networking events, even your own personal social events that you have, it is also an opportunity to connect with the people that you're meeting for the first time, know what the opportunities are there in their sector. Apart from that, doing some kind of research on Google and finding job forms, movie jobs, for example, is one that has this opportunity of job fairs. There are quite a few job fairs now in Luxembourg. So finding out these things is something for which you need to do research, or you find a mentor and you get the information.
But in terms of zeroing in on the courses you wanted to do for your higher education, was it the same approach?
For the higher education, I was strongly minded and inclined towards doing an MBA, and for that we had a limited option, and I also had this constraint of not moving out of Luxembourg for the studies. So I think I just got fortunate in that aspect.
Thank you for that. I'll bring the same question to Anjana. So if you can start with how you approached your comeback to higher education first.
Yes, so like I mentioned before, I was doing basic research back when I was in India itself. So I was going through the university websites and I was looking at the courses being offered. So there was just one course which was, aligning well with what I did in my bachelor's, but still the bachelor's what I did was more towards electronics, nothing to do with life science. So when I decided to opt for this, I was looking more into, a career towards research. But once I started the course, I decided, okay, this was not where I wanted to be. So, but the good thing about this course was like it offers, multiple directions where you can pick up where you want to do your master thesis. So that's when I decided, okay, it's going to be something towards computational and not in the lab. So, that was the main research that I was doing back then. Apart from that, I also connected with some of the alumni students in the Facebook that really helped me a lot because I was starting this course after a break of 10 years. So that was something, I just lost the touch of, going to school or college and sitting there and starting something from the scratch. So I wanted to really connect with the students and hear the feedback from them as to what to really expect when I start the course. So I got the picture well in advance, saying that this is going to be a very demanding course. So you just have to, it was like a break. It was like a block course wherein you just have to keep changing different subjects every 2 weeks. And yeah, it was quite demanding, but definitely it was fruitful at the end.
Thank you for that. To Pratiksha, I'd like to ask, there is a lot of reservation after doing a master's to come back to interning, especially if one is coming with a lot of work experience already. It's sort of an uncomfortable situation. What would you say to individuals who are saying, oh, but why do I have to start as an intern when I have so much work experience?
Indeed, that's a very practical question, and I quite often encounter people, especially in the age bracket of 35 to 45, where typically people think that they are in the most stable career phase and very comfortable in their personal life as well. So why, just shackle it all of a sudden? So I would say to them that internship is a great way of continuous education. So do not be apprehensive when you have this opportunity, because in a new environment, when you step into a new country or a new work environment, it is absolutely a wonderful opportunity to meet new influential and professional people who can really be value add to your network. Will also help you adapt new work styles. When Europeans work differently, and Americans work differently, Indians work differently, and it's also the way you settle into an environment. So it also showcases how adaptable and agile you are into a workplace, right? So I think all these comes with a package. So apprehension definitely has to be at a back seat, because if learning is something that you're looking forward, then through an internship, I think it also gives you a flavor of a new passion that you might figure out for yourself, what you really enjoy doing, right, at your workplace. And those skill sets, if you identify, that might be your path forward. That, okay, you know what, I might look for a career change. I've been doing IT for 20 years, no more. I might want to do something else. So that's your deja vu moment where you can really figure out.
Thank you for that encouraging answer. I'd like to bring the question to Anjana now. If there is somebody in the audience with the biomechanical or biomedical backgrounds, what research opportunities do they have here in Luxembourg?
I would say Luxembourg is not a place for now, at this moment, a place for life science. Unless and until you're really passionate about research, doing a PhD, or if you already have a PhD and you want to do a postdoc, then this place is definitely good. But if you ask me, right after my masters, I was offered to do a PhD. But then I knew that PhD is a very demanding role, and at this point in time, you can right after your masters, you can get a good job. So research is something that it's for people who are really passionate about doing research and being in academia, not in the industry. So for me, the goal is, for me at that point in time, I wanted to get into the job market, skill up, and once I'm all set, I want to move towards the industry side.
Got it. Thank you for that perspective. To Monica, you were an intern after several years of experience yourself. Would you talk about that? How was that experience?
Yes, definitely, Chatra. It was a completely new experience because my previous work experience was more based in India. So there was a cultural gap to cover as well. So I think that this gave me an opportunity to learn more about the new culture, new ways of working, at the same time acquire new skills and network, as Pratiksha rightly said. You come to meet new people and not only in your school but also at work. So that's also good. But in terms of finances, it was not definitely not as rewarding as it was before way back in India. It was a safe cocoon that I came out of. So that comfort was missing. But nevertheless, it was immense learning. It was quite a strong experience that I really, really needed.
I appreciate the spirit. I have a question to Pratiksha now. Can you talk to us about some advantages of studying from a well-established institution like HEC Luxembourg? What is differentiated?
So indeed, the school you go to has always been a stepping stone in your entire career, right? Your first school, your first college, your university, and it always embarks where you're going to go, right? So definitely very high standards of academic performance, accreditations, and a school that can really value your own commitment as their own, and of course can offer you a great pedigree of students, peers, alumni, great motivating community. I think these are few things that you should look for when you're looking to upskill yourself through higher education or a university program. And I would say the key differentiator here with HEC Liège Luxembourg would be that we value missions of people, organizations. And it's also that we have reached a point where economies and societies have reached a profound change point where there's no going back, right? So it's our social responsibility and it's a collective responsibility for all of us that we unite our workforces, our mindsets, our values to give back to the organizations and people together so that we are able to upskill and retain the existing talent as well. Because it's important to attract new talent, it's also even more important to retain and upskill the existing ones.
Thank you for that, Pratiksha. I have a question for both Monica and Anjana, and we can start with Monica if you like. What are your future plans? Where do you now? What next?
Yes, being in Luxembourg, I see there's a lot of opportunity and very interesting jobs in finance. Now I have already worked in project management, program management, sales and marketing. So I want to have a more inclusive work experience, and definitely this is one dream that I would like to pursue. I would like to upskill and slowly move into finance or explore parts of it. That's my plan.
That's very brave of you, Anjana.
So yeah, being in research, it gives you immense freedom to explore at your own pace. Wherein when you're in a real-time job, there is always this target-based approach, which is not there for me at this moment. So I'm just really using this to my own benefit, where I'm doing a couple of certifications. So I'm just adding more to my skill set. Since university offers you work at the max, you can work in university for 5 years. So after 5 years, you have to step out, and then maybe after a year or two, you can, if you wish, you can come back to university again. So I'm just using this period to skill up, and then once I find that this is the right time, I'll start looking out for options in the technical side. So I am now pursuing a lot of options towards DevOps. So I hope one day it will be there.
We wish you luck.
Thanks.
To Pratiksha, if I am looking to upskill myself and if I am looking to enroll at a university, what should I prepare myself? What would be the demands of this undertaking?
Well, I would say there are no expectation per se, but I would say that the students or candidates rather who are exploring are looking to explore higher education as an option in their career. It would be more for career advancement. So it's the right motivation that you identify yourself. Is it for career advancement, upskilling, or career shift, or you're relocated, so it could be a bridge into the job market. But I would say be ready to embrace every change and every challenge. So there might be nights where you end up getting into frantic panic attacks, and you will spend sleepless nights because of a situation like, okay, what's going to happen to me in the future? I have no future, I'm in this country. And well, you need to be patient. That's key one, and you will hear almost everyone in this room to tell you this. But my only suggestion, or I would say, that it will be best if you understand your own willingness, your own purpose, what you really want to do and where you want to go. And that willingness and ready to be an individual learner would be the expectation of every program, every university that you would go to. Because it comes from within you, what you want to do. Like you might just enroll into a program, but end up not getting anything out of it. That doesn't lead you anywhere. So I think it's more important, your willingness, be a quick learner, and how ready you are. So that moment is your moment to go ahead.
Thank you. I totally resonate with what Pratiksha is just saying. There were days when I said, why have I done this to myself? But that is when you have pushed yourself out of your comfort zone. As a final question to our three panelists, and I really appreciate you doing this. It's not easy to put yourself out there and tell your stories. What's that one piece of advice that you would give to all of us? Let's start with you, Mark.
I would say be very honest to yourself. Look into your within, like what are the shortcomings, and create a very detailed plan to handle each one of it. So the problem is yours, and the solution is within yourself, and you can do it. You got this.
I would say there is no age limit for learning. So it's like a lifelong process. You can start at any point in time. So don't self-limit yourself. Just if you want to do it, just go with the flow and don't look back. Just have them, the vision of where you want to be, and you will be there. Thank you.
From my side, I would say we have to be ready for the change that we see today, tomorrow, and even in the future. World might be unrecognizable. So education is just not limited to class, age, or convention, but it's far beyond. So it's lifelong learning, which is the key to your higher success. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't hesitate to even be the odd one or be the last one to learn. Be brave. Thank you.
Yeah, and I will unsolicitedly include my 2 cents as well. Sorry to include you. This is a fight with yourself. It's in your mind. Maybe your mind is telling you, I don't think this is for me. I'm not ready for this. I need some more time. Absolutely not true. You're ready right now. I would like to give a round of applause to our And I would also like to invite Rashmi to say a few words now.
Do you want to do a question and answer first?
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, we will do a question and answer first. I believe the microphone is there. So if you have any questions specifically to the panelists, you can please identify yourself and the mic will come to you.
Just bear with me.
me start by saying that all three of you have been really inspiring. Especially you, Pratiksha, the motivation you're giving me is really good as a recruiting manager. My question is particularly to you. I don't know how much familiar you are with back in India. Back in India, you can get an IT job no matter what sort of an engineering degree you have. Like I am an electrical engineer, but I have been into IT for more than 11 years. So I have a full-fledged career over there. Now it's been a year that I have moved here to Luxembourg. I'm not sure if I start applying, how the recruiter or the HR manager is going to see me. Would they be judging me over my degree or the 11 years of experience I have?
I think great question. I'm sorry, I did not get your first name.
I didn't say it. Ramya.
Ramya. Thank you for the question, Ramya. So definitely what HR and recruiters value here is your number of years of work experience and what technical knowledge you come with. Degree per se, yes, bachelor's in technology, master's in technology or PhD in technology definitely gets you in the game. So it's not like degree doesn't matter, but of course they will not know the value of the school that you come from. But if you say 11 years of work experience, your resume is going to substantiate that for the year and then what kind of work you've been doing, right? So also to be a key highlighter on your resume, it also is the kind of problem-solving abilities that you demonstrate, your agility, your adaptability into the workforce is something very important for the recruiters, and they see it as a winning point to get you at least on board for the screening.
Thank you.
Any other questions? You can sit if you want.
Hello, good evening. This is on? It's good. Okay. Honestly, it's been very motivational to hear all four of you. And it's been 3 years I'm in Luxembourg, and it is frustrating. You know, you feel that your life is standstill. You know, when I see others back in India, my colleagues and friends, they're moving forward. So I feel that I'm nowhere. So that's more of very downhill for me. I have a question for Ms. Pratiksha. I've been an educator back in India. I've done my education, bachelor's in education. I have 12 years of experience in secondary school. And I think when I came here, I did apply in a school, actually a couple of them, I would not like to name them. I've been rejected for reasons like we don't have a permit because I'm on dependent visa, and off late, like the rules have changed, you know, and I was very happy and I said, okay, it's not from my time to go and apply again because now I don't need such things. But then, unfortunately, I've been again receiving the same message saying that I am not eligible to work in EU zone or EU union because I don't have a work permit. And that was surprising to me. So you want me to, again, you know, maybe upskill myself with some education here? If yes, then what? So that I can get into a school for work.
If I would ask, have you got your education degrees apostilled here?
No, I wasn't guided about it.
Yes, so first of all, when you apply as an educator, it's important that you get your validation of the degrees, what you have done, apostilled, and that will give you one level entry into the system. And regarding the work permit situation, I think we're still struggling, and that clarity still needs to come, like how it will be functioned, and with the new government, I hope all these doubts and questions get clarified. But of course, in case of upskilling, I would say, yes, you can also take one turn of getting into education management. You can still be a part of the education system, but also like redefining or defining the course curriculum. That could also be a new trajectory into education career that you might want to look. I'm not sure if you've already looked into it, but that can be quite interesting. And then there your second hurdle might be, okay, you don't know the language, or if you already know the language, then which language would you go for? French, German, Luxembourgish. So again, I would say, which path do you want to take? If you want to stick to international English mediums, then we do have English public schools and private schools.
Okay.
So you might go and get your apostillation done by Cambridge system and apply for international Cambridge schools. So there are several paths, but it's just that we might have to struggle a bit to find which path is for me.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no one to guide, you know. It becomes difficult for us to don't know whom to ask, because being a very small unit here, but I'm glad I'm here today, and I think I'll connect you with you offline so that I can get more
Yeah.
guidance. Thank you very much.
Come on, ladies, it's unlike you not to ask questions, please.
Hello. Firstly, thank you very much for your sharing. It's really inspiring and powerful. Let me introduce a little bit about myself. I'm Nong. I come from Vietnam. I did my bachelor in Vietnam in economics, and then I went to Germany for my master degree in supply chain, and then I moved to Luxembourg for my first job. So my question is, I'm wondering whether the local recruiters still prefer a degree from University of Luxembourg, or any degree in Europe is still recognized. And secondly, in my case, I'm wondering if another higher degree is still necessary, or I should, like, what type of higher education would be beneficial to boost my career.
So this question is particularly to me, or?
Yeah, I think everyone has the input, so
I don't think you should take it as a...
Okay, thanks.
So your first question was that recruiters do look for bachelor's degree, right? So it might be relevant to highlight your number of years of experience, because what you bring to the table is important for any organization where you're going to contribute to. So it's important. If you're fresh out of college, yes, then that's your time where you can experiment, where the organizations can also experiment on you. So it's two-way, where you will get to know what really resonates with you in an organization and if your values align. But it's also, apart from the values, but it's what do you really want to do, your core skill set, right? So yeah, I would say the key point is your experience plus, of course, you've done basic level of education, so that's definitely one tick in the box. But I wouldn't say they don't look at your education at all. So recruiters generally have a set of tick in the box that, okay, these are the eligibility criteria, but they also look at your core skill set that they're looking for a particular job. Is it project management? Is it into engineering? Is it into manufacturing? So what you bring on the table.
If the panelists can feel free to come in, I think it is also coming from the perspective that if I have a master's from, say, France or Germany, would that still be on par with a master's from Unilux, for example?
So I wouldn't comment on that there are any kinds of biases towards that. It's more on what, as I said, like what you really bring on the table, your experience, your value add, your core skill set. So I don't think one university teaches you something, the other teaches you exactly opposite of it. It's more complementary. So if you've done a bachelor's, a master's will definitely add value, because it's also like a T-shaped approach. If you really have to learn something into the business, you typically choose for a master's program and not something into training where you want to learn, but it's not deep into the silo and master into them. So if you have to do master in supply chain, master in finance, that's typically into the core business that you are learning. So if you said like Master of Economics, you want to go, yes, because then you would look for a job opportunity into core economics. And that's when you can substantiate based on your learning which university stands out, which course is doing really good. I hope I've answered your question.
If I may just add, consider networking options. At this point, I think you want to build contacts to be able to sort of able to come into the workforce here in Luxembourg. Consider networking events and maybe a certification course.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Thank you everyone for sharing your experience. I have two questions actually. I have 8 years of experience. I was working with TCS back in India, and currently I'm also looking for a job, and I'm still searching whether I have to do a job or I have to pursue my higher education. So I'm a mom of 4-year-old daughter. So how difficult was it to study and manage with the kids at home? So that's my question.
Maybe I can comment on that, because it was exactly the same age I started my master's. So my son was 4 and I started my master's at that point in time. So I would say this is the right time if you really want to pursue your master's, because they are not into the primary school yet. They are still in the pre-course or maternal stage, wherein you don't have to help them with the homework or anything. So it's just like a play school where you just have to leave them and then come back, and then you have all the time to focus on your studies. And apart from that, and if you have, if you're going to the college, I think it's pretty easy to get the childcare also after the school hours. So if you want to pursue your studies, I think this is the right time.
Okay. And it's also like after 11, 12 years of college, it's like been a long gap. So was it difficult or were you able to cope up?
The first semester was definitely challenging, because the way you do your the education in India is definitely different when compared to Luxembourg. I would say it was challenging, but I am sure you will pick it up within a semester or two. And it is demanding, but they give you the time and space to grow, and there is no pressure. Even if you want to take a break and come back, you can still do it.
Okay, that's great. One last question. So once the master's is completed and on the way to find the job, is language still a barrier? Because I have done my French A1 and A2, but I see it should be up to C1 level, and it's good to learn Luxembourgish and German, all 3 languages. I have seen a lot of job portals, so it's a little bit.
It's a harsh truth, but of course more the merrier, I would say. But yes, if you're learning until A2, I would say let's go till C1 at least and keep practicing. So that's the way, but it also depends on which sectors are you applying to. Not every sector is very job dominant these days. If you would have seen like in the past 3 to 4 years, Luxembourg, there has been a very high rate of adoption of English language. So I wouldn't say that, when we came, English was hardly spoken. Now you go to supermarkets, you will find things, people will be able to help you. Applications are in English. Most of our websites now are translated in English. So I think that's all in the good direction. So let's not get bogged down that with this caveat of language might be a hurdle. We do have a lot of hurdles. Let's just keep crossing in the right spirit. And I would say your motivation will get us through. That is very important, because end of the day, if one of us starts feeling frustrated and it's like this is not working, your next day won't be like a rising star.
Thank you so much, everyone.
There's 2 points I'd like to add. When Anjana came back to education, her child was 4 years old. When I came back to education, my child was 12 years old. I went out of the workforce when my child was 6 months old. So it doesn't matter. You can be here or there, you can still do it. Language, I think it's always good to learn the local language. That's the respect we accord to the local culture. So that's the least we can do. I only know a beginner level French, and that's okay as long as you're willing to build up on it. So they understand. Yeah.
And I think I would just add to what Chaitra is saying. From the university standpoint, we make it a point when we develop any program to bring you out of the comfort zone. So we don't want you to be in your comfort zone. So and we make it a point that the program is difficult, because the more you struggle in the program, that's when you really value the finish line. And when an opportunity really waves its hands, that's when your true joy is, okay, I've really accomplished. So I think it's also part of the game that it's made consciously so difficult. So yes, be your child at the age of 4 years, 12 years, 16 years, they still fall sick, they still need their mother or father. You are in the classroom, right? And there are important events when you want to be with your family and you cannot be, because this is the choice you chose for yourself, and that's the hardest bit, So I think it's an important feeling to have what you're doing, or if you even plan to do that in your future, it's for your betterment, it's for your family, it's for the better future. So let's just not think that it's going to be difficult. Let's not get into that contemplation mode. Nothing comes easy or free in life. So we do have to really choose the hard bit. And I think that's your moment. So if it's now, it's now. If you have a calling 2 years later, that's your moment. So let's go with it.
Just a final sense, so even after you start working, you'll still have your kids, and then you'll still feel that you're working and spending all your hours there, and you will have that guilt feeling. So after having a child, you are a different person, and challenges will remain always.
Yeah, just notice none of us has said this is easy. I think we have a question with that.
Have you talked about trainings, short-term trainings other than full-blown MBA courses? Or no? So, I have seen trainings available on House of Learning website. I haven't visited HEC late, but I was interested in knowing if anyone here knows about short-term trainings, maybe a month-long training or 2-month-long training within budget for people that we can take around blockchain, or I don't know, even project management that I can refer to my team just for upskilling, because a full-blown MBA may not always be possible.
Absolutely. So for HEC and House of Training, we do have an expert in the house for House of Training. Marie is in the room, so you might also connect with her for House of Trainings, trainings that they offer to corporates and individuals. But for HEC Luxembourg, we do have courses which can be individually enrolled. You need not always go for a full-blown MBA, but we do have short-term certificates into business, into private equity, innovation, fintech. So, and then all these certificates ultimately culminate into an MBA if you want to. So it's no hard choice.
Can I share something? So quite a few people here asked about the difficulty of doing the course when you were with your family, etc. So I agree with someone who said that when you would work, it's got to be the same story. For me, I went through the same journey, and for me the biggest roadblock was the fact that I thought that after my first MBA, I'm never going to study again. So once I got over that, it was like a project for me, like a job. And to be honest, my son respects me more now. I can give you like a million stories about how I can handle a million things. I have blogs on how parents, because my husband also did something similar, are better project managers. Mothers, I think, are major project managers. So I think this is something we should take pride in. We can take pride in. So think about it from a different perspective. It's never easy. You're absolutely right. It's never easy. But what is easy? So have a drink and have fun.
I think that's really true. When your child tells you, "Mommy, I'm so proud of you," that's it. All your efforts are about it right there.
Good evening, everyone. My question is to Monica Singh. I see that in LinkedIn your profile goes from software developer to business expansion intern. May I know how did you choose this path? Because I'm interested to know more about that.
Yeah, so it was basically when I moved to Luxembourg, and then I realized that I have a wall in front of me and I cannot get into the job market. And basically I was told that I can be whatever I want to be, and then I realized that I want to be in management. And then I got an opportunity with Amazon as an intern into business expansion. That was through my education. That time I was pursuing the education of MBA with internship. So that degree gave me an opportunity to go for an internship.
MBA with internship, MBA under what? Like if there was any major you did in MBA? MBA finance, any major?
It is general, more generic.
Could you please expand on what exactly did you do there for MBA and how long it took for you to complete that?
So it's 10 months of course, but it can go on as per your convenience. So for example, if you get pregnant in between or you take a break, and you can always come back. So it's up to you how much time you take to complete the course. Yeah.
And could you please specifically mention how, is the course still there? Is it still being offered? The MBA General course?
I think Pratiksha can elaborate on that.
Yeah, I think so. Monica graduated from Secretariat University, which unfortunately had to exit the Luxembourg market.
Okay.
And now HEC Luxembourg has bridged the gap. So we offer MBA with internship and MBA course. All our classes run in the evening from 6:30 to 9:30 outside your work hours.
Right.
And typically your duration of the program is 2 years.
Oh, it's 2 years.
It's 2 years, yes. Typically an MBA program, full-fledged, full-time program is 2 years, but it also comes with the customization of what kind of courses you want to choose. There, as she mentioned, that there might be maternity breaks, work travel breaks, and then so forth. You can do a customization of your choice.
Great. It's really good to know that. Thank you so much.
Regarding the degree, hello, my name is Madhumita. I'm a student in International University of Applied Sciences, Berlin. I would like to know a little about the MBA that you just told us about. Can you finish the course as early as possible? We have the choice in that university.
Typically, it still takes you 18 months. However, there's flexibility, but I would say in a comfortable position, you still will have to dedicate 18 months. It's face-to-face here in Chamber of Commerce. We typically don't have a lot of online classes, but it can be also hybrid. But the expectation in the program is to attend it face-to-face.
Thank you.
Sorry, just a correction. It was my rose tinted recollection, I think, that I said 10 months. Actually, you're right, Pratiksha, it was 18 months. Sorry about that.
Also, could you please elaborate on the cost of it, if it's okay?
I would also suggest that when you flip this card, there's a QR code to our website. You can find all the courses that we offer.
Sure.
But yes, still to mention, MBA with internship is 39,000 euros, wherein we guarantee you an internship of 6 to 9 months in Luxembourg in the field that you look for. And of course, everyone knows, like in Luxembourg, the internships are paid, and with an opportunity of conversion to a full-time offer as
Yes.
well.
Thank you so much.
Hi, really thank you everyone for your. So a little about me. My name is Valerie, and I have more than 12 years of experience across India, UK, or here also. I'm working, and one thing for me that I always wanted to do an MBA, but it was always like something my question is more that now so many universities are offering online MBAs also. So what do you think your take is on, should we prefer online MBA or personal MBA? What is it?
Maybe you want to take this.
Yeah, so my personal preference is definitely personalized, like be face to face. The reason behind that is you get a lot of opportunity to network and also develop yourself. The more you see and the more you interact, it gives you an opportunity to build on top of your personality. So definitely online won't be an option for me. But I think that's more of a personal choice.
Yes, because as you already talked about, a lot of juggling between the work and the motherhood and etc. So that could be an option, but it's of course, as you said, it's a personal choice. One more question from me to Pratiksha, especially if someone wants to register for HECDH for MBA program, what do you think one should prepare for? Prepare ourselves, or what things you should keep in mind?
Definitely, you answered the question yourself. You will prepare yourself first. If you're ready for the gig, yes. But of course, to your prior question, I would say you can learn everything, but not an MBA. Because MBA is not a degree, I would say it's a change in perspective, it's a change in personality, it's a journey of transformation that you would like to be a part of. And when you are in person, when you interact, you remember the times of COVID when everyone was working out of Zoom. At a point, we all started missing that human touch to a lot of things in our life. So I think it's important to be a part of interaction personally and adapt your human skills to it. So being a part of the class, it really helps you engage versus being online. The value add becomes very less because then it's on to your choice whether you want to give your opinion or not. But in the class, you're really, I would say there's no pressure, but then you're forced by your own intuition to communicate and interact in the class, to give your own opinion, even if it's correct, it's not correct, and I think it really pushes you hard way out of your comfort zone. So that's important. And in terms of preparation, I think, as I said before, there's no expectation from a preparation standpoint, it's more willingness. It's also when you're ready to contribute and be a part of the contribution.
Yes, in preparation, it was more of a, like, what do you, when you select student, what do you see?
The eligibility criteria.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes, so basic eligibility criteria is minimum 3 years of work experience that we look for. And so more definitely, so our average work experience of a class is 5 years. So if you have minimum 3 years, a bachelor's degree, master's even better. I think, and we have waived off the GMAT score for now, and also IELTS score, or if your education has been in English, then we don't need your IELTS score. And when you apply, so a proper motivation letter, what really is driving you towards MBA recommendation letters. So, thank you.
Thank you. I just want to check with my colleagues how are we doing at the time. Thank you.
We could take 2 more questions.
Yeah, we have time for 2 more questions. And then we'll come back to questions. Can we head to the panel first because there is there?
Hi, thanks for organizing this. I think that's really a great event to start with. Just a quick question maybe to HECDH, like whether the institute offers like part-time PhD courses.
Not at the moment. We are a business school, and at the moment we have not launched anything in PhD into business. We're just into high impact certificates, short term, and MBA programs.
Thank you.
I think I'll just, a thing which struck one of the panelists said that it's good to learn the local language first. But at this point of time, I have 2 rounds. One, I aim for the job, so obviously French comes in first. Or I have like 1.5 years for my citizenship, so I go for Luxembourgish and aim for citizenship. So I think, which language should I go for? Which European language would you, suggest for me to learn?
What's more lucrative for you? I would say.
If you can
Hello,
have one together, all the better.
I think I already have 6 Indian languages in my head, so too many European again.
Hello everyone, very good evening. Thank you all for your valuable suggestions, whatever you have given. It's a value add to all of us. Thank you so much again. So my question to Pratiksha. So we have the concept of campus interviews. So do we have something like that after the completion of internship here?
In HEC Liège, Luxembourg, you mean?
Both I would like to know.
We do have campus drive in HEC Liège. In HEC Liège, Luxembourg, we are planning to have a campus drive, but it's typically not the way we do it in India.
Okay.
So, we don't commit on placements. Like most of the universities say we assist placement, but there's no guarantee on placement. So, end placement is never the commitment from most of the universities in Europe. But it's like true internship, that's anyways a foot in the door already, and quite committing one, I would say. So that typically gets converted into job offers.
Okay.
Because it's also a duration of 6 to 9 months for the company to assess your progress. So I think it's quite good.
Got it. Thank you.
We had one more person, I suppose.
Can just
Hello, thank you all for attending, organizing this session. So I have completed my Masters in Engineering and also MBA in IT Project Management. But I was working as an assistant professor in Engineering College in India, but I couldn't get any job over here as per my education. So what do you suggest that I should take education in further education? Means for future, what field I should choose?
I think a lot depends on what you want. Do you want to be in academics, or do you want to explore more into IT and go into the industries?
IT industry.
So for that, I think there would be a lot of options because you already have masters in IT. There's no, from my opinion, no need for further education in that particular domain.
But since 2 years I'm searching the job, but I didn't get any. So because they told me that means wherever their rejections are coming, so they gave me the reason that I don't have any IT experience. So that's the main reason, and the French language is another reason. So I'm ready to work on internship basis also, but they are giving internship to only those people who are taking education in Luxembourg. So can you suggest me which course I should take?
So I think and another MBA is definitely an option, but typically people don't find it very comfortable because, they're like, I've done my MBA already. But, education in a new country definitely helps you. As you said, that internship, you're getting rejection because they typically partner with universities as a part of their ongoing program. So that's how they absorb interns directly from the school versus individuals applying. So that's definitely there. You could also look for identifying your transferable skills. Which of the skills would you think that you can develop further? So maybe something into project management, into IT, what exactly were your skill sets, and then do very customized programs on that. But then for internship, typically universities will cater to you only when it's a long-term program. For a short-term training, internship doesn't come as an attached program, So definitely, I'm happy to connect with you separately on this and support you.
Sure.
So if I can just add to what Pratiksha is saying, the way I'm reading this, so you have your education in one segment, but your experience as an educator.
Yeah.
So this is where the mismatch is happening. So when you are applying for your domain that you have studied, they see that you don't have real-time work experience, which they can bring you on board for. So now you need to decide for yourself whether you want to continue in education or now you want to go back to what you studied. Once you made that decision, Pratiksha can come in.
Actually, I want to apply for the education system also, means for the as a educator, but it needs 3 languages, means Luxembourgish, German and French. I already started for the French, but they need at least 2 languages, and it will take way more time for the 2 languages. So I prefer to go in IT sector, so that I could get job as early as possible.
Let's talk about this.
Can I add a point to this? So, like Pratiksha said, I think adding more transferable skills to your profile would help you, navigate towards IT side. There are dedicated platforms where you can showcase your skill set. You can build your portfolios wherein you can say that, okay, I've worked on these. For example, you can go for self-learning courses in your free time, and then you can build your portfolio saying you have worked on so and so projects, and then you can add this to your skill set in your profile and say, I do have, working knowledge. So maybe that can help you moving towards the IT.
And I would also add that there's always a different option for freelancing. If you are really good at what you do, I think we typically don't explore this part of freelancing as well. I mean, you can definitely apply, start off for a business permit, you can start something of your own. I mean, let's venture that segment out as well. Why just think like someone will hire me? You can even hire someone.
So, I don't know about that freelancing section. So, can you please tell me about that?
I'm sure we'll have experts here who can help on that, because I definitely will not be the best person to guide you through. But we do have House of Startups, House of Entrepreneurship, who can really help you and guide you on that. Yes, and my colleague Pascal can.
I am Pascal. I'm working with Pratiksha. I'm actually the head of strategic development of HEC Liège Luxembourg. I happen to be a Luxembourger who's been away for 20 years, came back in the midst of the COVID. So I lived the life of an expat being in my own home country. So I really feel what you're saying. So what I want to share, and I can give you a few elements also to that question of before, there's different ways to get ground in Luxembourg. It's not easy because it's a very particular country. People can come across like close at the beginning. Think of it like onion rings. You're at the beginning, at the outside, but you have to realize that even Luxembourgers have to move inside of those onion rings. So it's like there's the country, and then there's the city, and then there's certain areas, and then so it's for everyone the same thing, except you're coming from more outside, but that doesn't mean you're at a disadvantage. It looks like. So just go out, try, network a lot. I mean, my personal situation when I came back, I applied to certain positions and I didn't even get a selection. And then later people would come and call me because I had just decided to expose myself and go through like freelancing, doing certain things. Because here a lot of things happen through the networking, knowing someone. So just do the things you love, that you're good at. If it has to be freelance, if it has to be on the side, if it is like even just posting about what you do, what you're good at, and go out, meet people, go meetups, whatever it is, there's lots of places that you can go to. There's all sorts of it, Paper Jam, Silicon Luxembourg, there's many things that you go there. Meet people. Do not try to push or sell yourself, but just connect with the people. Someone will have a friend somewhere that will need what you're doing. It may take a bit of time, but in the meantime, enjoy that ride and do not be desperate. So it is not easy, but it's not as hard as it seems after all, because it's a small country. So that's the advantage. Everyone knows everyone, and eventually, all of a sudden, you happen to meet someone. To the point of the assistance for the freelance way, it's actually relatively simple. And so we have HEC, but we have also the House of Training, and we have what's called House of Entrepreneurship. Same family, it's all part of the Chamber of Commerce. They're across the street, basically. And House of Entrepreneurship, they will assist you and give you the information that you need, how that works to be a freelancer. It's pretty easy. There's even a way to just decide at the beginning that all you need to apply is to get like a license, which is not a big deal. And if you do not exceed 35,000 euros a year, it's even going to be very easy with the VAT thing. You just need to register with them, but you do not need to have like literally making the returns and everything.
You need to register.
You register, yeah, you have to register, but you just send them once a year, like, but it's kept very, very easy, and you can go on. And they even have a program where they have like experts that give you 5 hours time, whatever it is that you need to, legal or finance or whatever. So reach out to them. They give you clues. They have a multi-language thing, and that's, by the way, also another thing about the language. Yes, ideally you speak all those languages, but very often when they start to see your value, then all of a sudden they forget, because it's more an automatic thing to say like, these are all the languages because it's a habit, but there's plenty of people who speak French and very poorly English and they still have a job. So the other way around should work too.
I will now ask Rashmi to come and share her thoughts with us. Yes.
Thank you everybody for the excellent quality of questions, because event like this is successful only when we have the audience who really values. And I can see that through the questions you asked. We originally didn't plan for such a long Q&A, but we thought we will take the time, because at the end of it, that's what we want. Like you mentioned, Pascal, this is, in Hindi we call it a bahana, or it's just means to get people to network. So we're putting something of value here to say, okay, let's get talking about this. So thank you for being here, and thank you for those questions. I just want to, like Chaitra mentioned, my name is Rashmi, and I have the best role at Wiki. I'm the president of Wiki, and I just want to share a couple of a small incident that happened and why it got started here. And so it actually starts with 2 phone calls that I had. One of the phone call is not good. I'm going to tell you what it is, and the other one was the better one. So the first phone call happened during COVID. It was just when the COVID lockdown happened, and because we were all new to COVID and it was very strict, right? I see some nodding heads. You remember how it was. And I got this phone call from an unknown number many times on my phone, and I did not take it. But after like the 6th or the 7th time, I took it. It was early in the morning, and the person said, I got your phone number from my sister, and she is in a domestic violence situation, and can you help? I myself didn't know what to do, right? But we figured the situation out, and she went back to her country. That ended there, and it just stayed with me. It was okay. And after a couple of months, I got another phone call. So this is a better phone call. There was a lady on there, again an unknown number. So I thought, but this time I picked, from last experience I picked. And that lady said, my name is Dr. Harbeen Arora, and I'm the founder of an association called Wiki. In Luxembourg, we do not have a chapter. Would you like to head the chapter? And I said, yes, I would like to, because I was already ready for it. And she said, no, you can take a day or 2 or to think about it. I said, see, I don't know how to go about it, and I don't know how we're going to do that, but I think in Luxembourg we need it. So I said, yes, let's do it. And it was COVID. I didn't know how to go about it, but today I think we have done pretty well. We have amazing women, so my job has been the best one, to find some amazing women, put them together, and find other amazing women to come to that event, and create the situation for networking, right? So I would like to thank our amazing panelists today for daring to share your stories, for caring to share your stories with others, because you know the impact it will have. We've tried to, I hope the live recording also works, live streaming works, so that we hope to maximize every event, so that more and more women, like you asked about freelancing, right? We had an event already on freelancing. I think it is on YouTube, the
version, so you can go look at it. So we're trying to make this, use the knowledge and make it stay out there in the internet so that you don't have to always wait for an event like this, but please do come to events like this as well. Yeah. So thank you all for, once again for sharing your stories candidly. And I would like to thank all the council members. We call them council members. We are 6 of us. So I have written a list so I don't forget. Sometimes I get nervous when I talk about it and I forget, so I made sure I made a list. The first one I would like to thank is Neda. She's not here today. She's a businesswoman. She is in Dubai today, but she's been with Vicky from day one, and amazing source of support. Next one is Shweta Sachalgood. There she is. That's Shweta. And she meticulously planned this so that every little thing, from how you will enter, where will you sit, everything, the timing, everything, that's her work. So thank you very much. And then we have Chaitra. Chaitra was here as the C title. We've been talking about this particular event for months, right? Because we're all full-time professionals and we do this on the side because we're passionate about the purpose. And we have kids, and then there's so many things happening, and we're still like, oh, let's go back and talk about this. And sometimes we take Sunday nights after the kids are in bed to talk about this. And Shweta nicely called it, sometimes it's like shady business, So it's been in the planning, and she's been dreaming, and because she went through this journey, like she mentioned. So, and today she was not well. We told her to take strong medicine so that she can. She was worried she would cough, and she's done amazingly well. So thank you very much, Chaitra. And we have another council member on the same table here, Pratiksha. She joined us recently, a couple of months ago, and she's been a powerhouse, and she had this vision. She was like, I was like, let's do it online because we have done it online always. But she was like, no, she could see it in her mind today how it's going to go. Has it gone as you thought? Pretty much. So thank you for having that vision, and thank you for making it happen, putting order in this. And we have one more person, Subarna. Again, she's not here because she's at another conference herself. And so that's, and also thanks to the volunteers today. Volunteers like Rashmi and Jagrati who left, and if I don't mention your name, sorry, I think I pulled in Dhara, yes, Dhara, Shenika, thank you. And I think I pulled in 1 or 2 of you to help me with the standee as well, so thank you very much. And thank you as well, Marie and Pascal, for being here. I'm sorry, sir, I don't know your name.
My name?
Yes.
My name is Esa.
Thank you for being here as well.
Yes, my wife, she brought me.
Well done. Thank you for being here. I would also like to thank Muriel Moore, Director, Chamber of Commerce, for also supporting this event so that we can have this space and have this event in person. And most of all, again, thanks to you for making time. I'm sure some of you might have left your children with your husbands. Believe me, that's a good thing sometimes. I have learned it myself that that is necessary at home as well. That's the only way they grow too. They figure out how to manage. So, but I also know that we as mothers, we keep thinking about them. Half the time that they don't actually need us to think about, but we do that anyways. Thank you for being here, and we're going to have one more fun thing. We have had a lucky draw for one person who's made it today. We picked a random name, and the name is
would be really excited to offer you one of the free courses.
Thank you so much.
I think you can connect with me and we can share the details with you.
Thank you so much. If I can hop on that, and this is why also you should attend Wiki events, because we're try to have a surprise element towards the end, big or small. Sometimes it's very small, sometimes it's big, depends on who's being generous in that event. So yeah, it's sometimes not predictable, but yes. Yes, I think we will open the floor for networking. Like Pascal mentioned, I must add that, again, like Chitra was saying, unsolicited, but in Luxembourg, degree, no degree, whatever that is, without networking, I don't think things will move for yourself. And we might have another event, a small workshop saying how to network in Luxembourg if you find it useful. There's a sheet at the end if you find it, if you would like for us to have an event like that, please check so that we know what you're interested in and organize an event for that. But please do network, and some of you may be like me when I started. I've been one of those geeky tech people when I started my life, who's had no skill in networking. But I think I've grown. I've been able to put women together. So it takes time and you learn. So please put yourself out there. Things happen so much better when you put yourself out there. So please make the most out of the next couple of half an hour, and have a nice evening.
Thank you.